Hello, this is the Harmonize Life podcast by Interim, the Harmonizer on Africa Business Radio, where we educate you on the need to move away from the narrative of balance to harmony, because balance promotes the strive for equilibrium between work and life. However, the extent to which one is a priority over the other changes during an individual's day, week, month, year, and even a lifetime. Harmony, on the other hand, is a deliberate choice to meaningfully, deeply, and rewardingly prioritize the key areas of life, such that you are living a wholesomely productive and fulfilling life at work, at home, in the society, and within self. So welcome to the Harmonize Life podcast. Welcome back to the Harmonize Life podcast with Nkem Ofonabo, the Harmonizer. Have you ever noticed how fast December shows up while the memories of January are still fresh in your mind? Time is fleeting, so is life. Truth is, anything lost can be found except for time wasted. Our priority then should be on how to maximize the 86,400 seconds that life offers us each day. The value of your time is directly related to your sense of self-worth. When we come back, we are going into our guest segment where I introduce you to my guest, Mr. Emmanuel Michael, who is fondly called the HR celebrity by the Nigerian HR community and the current head of human capital at Letshego Nigeria, a leadership and career success coach. He is a seasoned and highly sought-after multi-award-winning strategic business leader with over 2 decades management experience spanning various industries. He is also the founder and host of HR with EM, a platform to connect, learn, and share on everything leadership, career development, and employee experience. We'll be discussing the topic, practical steps to overcoming procrastination. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Harmonize Life podcast with Nkem Ofonabo on African Business Radio. I have my guest here, Mr. Emmanuel Michael. Hello, Mr. Emmanuel Michael, the HR celebrity. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Nkem, for the opportunity to be on your show, The Harmonizer.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
All right. Our focus today is on the practical steps to overcoming procrastination. Okay. But before we go deep into that conversation, okay, because I know it's something a lot of us are struggling with.
Including myself.
Exactly. So tell me more about HR with EM and why you are fondly called the HR celebrity.
Okay, so HR with EM started sometime in 2016. Okay. But before 2016, there were some activity that were going on, okay, which led to the forming of HR with EM. So sometime when I joined LinkedIn, okay, I joined a group. There's an HR group on LinkedIn. I think that was when I started my HR practice early enough in 2003. I can't remember when I joined LinkedIn, or maybe it was 2009 or so. But when LinkedIn started,
you're a veteran.
Yeah, when LinkedIn started, I joined LinkedIn. So I joined a group. That group was called the CIPM Network. Okay. And on that group, I noticed people were asking questions about HR issues. Okay. So what I did was because I was new in HR, I was also reading, learning, and then some of the challenges that I was facing at work, those were the questions people were asking in that group. So I started providing answers, to those questions. So, and that was what I kept doing. So anytime I go on LinkedIn and I see a group, people ask questions, I will provide an answer. So I might not even know the answer. So what I do is to go research, come back and share, okay, this is what it is. But if something that I've dealt with, then I will share my experience, how I dealt with it at work. At work. So it continued that way. Then I think I started also sharing on Facebook. Then one of my colleagues, in my previous place of work before this, spoke to me and said, "Hi, Emmanuel, I keep saying you share this, you share that. Why not get a blog? Why not get a blog where you will now begin to share this information?" So that was how I started thinking, so what name do I call this blog? So that I experimented with different names, shared with people, shared with my spouse to say, okay, what do you think about this name? At the end of the day, I landed with HR with EM. So that's how I came about HR with
and
EM.
It's a trending hashtag.
Okay, so that's how I came about with HR with EM. That was sometime in March 2016,
Okay, awesome. That's good. So why are you fondly called the HR celebrity?
Okay, so that title was given to me by Lola Esson. I don't know if you know Lola Esson. She currently works with EY. She's a partner with EY, so I think there was in one HR gathering, and then I was supposed to speak at that event, so I was called upon to come and speak, and then she shouted that name. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And why did she do that? If you take a look at my speaking engagements, most times when I appear at forums, I'm always featured in international events. Okay,
so with all the accolades, top 100, the global HR. I know.
When you look at the awards, I keep getting awards from outside Nigeria. So somehow within the HR community, they see me as someone who is always raising the Nigeria flag internationally. Currently, I sit on the HRCI board, HRCI certification committee in the United States of America, and somehow I'm the only African on that particular. So not just Nigerian, but I'm the only African on that committee, the certification committee of the HRCI. And HRCI is a global HR certification body. Aside from that, I also participate in several international HR events. I get invitation every now and then. Just this week, I got an invitation from a UK company.
Wow.
They specialize, it's a magazine, they specialize on employee experience. They now want me to become a columnist to provide thoughts, share on
you are indeed the HR celebrity, so I'm reinforcing it.
Everywhere, Asia, you have Asia. The awards that I got, some of them are from Asia. So Asia, the Americas, Europe, they all know me. So, and they reach out to me. I don't reach out to them. They reach out to me somehow.
I'm privileged to have the HR celebrity as my guest. So welcome again.
Thank you.
All right. So tell me, what's your typical day like? And how do you navigate the various demands of being a career executive, a husband, a father of 3 lovely kids, and I was at their dedication, and also a mentor. I know you're a mentor to a lot of young professionals, a global speaker, like we just talked about it now, and of course everything in between.
Okay, so my day starts very early. My day starts actually at 4 a.m. every day. Somehow I've gotten to the point whereby I don't even rely on the alarm clock to wake. As soon as it is 4, my eyes will just open.
4 a.m. What time do you go to bed?
Yeah, that's another issue. So I make a time to go to bed at either 10:30 or at worst 11. Okay, but as soon as it's 10, I try to just lie down, and then by 10:30 or so, I'm off. Except I have something that I'm working on.
So not to digress, you get up to 6 or 7 hours of sleep?
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay.
I sleep at 10 and I wake up at 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I do up to 6 hours sleep. Yeah.
All right.
So that's how I start my day. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I usually will do is to get my devotion done. Okay, after my devotion, because I like to share every day on LinkedIn, immediately after my devotion, I try to put down whatever lesson that I've gotten from that devotion. So that serves as the inspiration for that particular day. Then in addition, there's a book that I also read every morning by John Maxwell. So that's what I'm reading.
So you make out time every morning after your devotion
to read that book.
To read a book.
One page
wow.
to page,
I love that.
So that's what I do. So I do my devotion, I read that, and then I share. So what I share every morning, if you look at my LinkedIn page, it's either from my devotion or from that John Maxwell book. So
I know you always pick a short quote from both.
Yeah. So that's what I share. And then if I share from my devotion, you will see something I put scripture challenge or something like that. Okay. So that's what I do. And then after that, I go for my early morning bicycle ride.
I like that. Oh my God. So my ideal life.
So I do the bicycle ride. I have a stationary bicycle in the house. So I ride for just 10 minutes, not more than 10 minutes.
Okay.
After that, as soon as I finish, the next thing is straight to the bathroom, shower, get dressed. If I'm working from home, then I begin to plan what I'm going to do for that particular day. If I'm working from the office, then I get my driver, so we start going, and then mentally I'll be planning what I need to do before I get to the office. So that's how my day begins.
Awesome.
Okay? So when I get to the office, I usually have my long list of what I need to get accomplished that day, meetings. So first of all, I check if I have meetings, make notes of the meetings, and then plan other activities around to provide time for me to be able to have to prepare for those meetings. And then towards evening, what I then do when I'm about shutting down in the evening, I try to look to see what meetings do I have the following day, so that if I need to prepare, when I get home, I can then prepare for those meetings. Because sometimes I would have an early morning meeting, so I need to make sure that I have what I need to prepare for that early morning meeting. When I get back home, okay, so the first thing that happens when I leave office, I actually switch off completely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I switch off completely. So if you send me a mail after I've left the office, sorry, I won't read that mail to the next day.
Wow.
I won't read that mail to the next day, okay? So as soon as I get back home, my 3 kids, they are triplets. So, and you must give them equal attention. So when I come back, we hug. And then if dinner is ready, I usually prefer to eat my dinner early, okay? So sometimes the traffic could be terrible.
Oh,
if
Lagos.
I get some very late, if I get some very late, I eat very light meal. But most times I get home early, okay, these days, because I try to leave by 5 p.m. on the dot. So I get home early. And so I play with the kids. We have our bonding time. We play. We watch cartoons.
So that's how you make a time to be the present daddy.
Yeah, we dance. We dance.
Nice.
We dance. Normally we dance from the door. You know, when they are welcoming me, we dance. We hug. We peck each other. So that gives them enough time. So that's what happens during the weekday. Weekends, I provide time for them on weekends. So unlike on Sunday,
what happens to Madame?
Yeah, Madame is in the picture.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, Madame is in the picture. She's in the picture. So we have time. We discuss. Even throughout the whole day, we chat. Okay. And aside from chatting the whole day, in the evening when we've been able to put the kids to sleep, because sometimes it's difficult to put them to sleep. I also sleep in the children's room. So we stay the whole evening with them. And then sometimes we all play together, Madame, the kids. So they'll be there. So I help maybe to do some sort of manicure or whatever. Maybe need to pick hairs. So we do all that. So
all right.
Helping Madame out. What else do I do? Weekends. So what I do weekends for the family is on Sundays. I blocked out time. Okay, that is specifically immediately after church is bonding time for the family. So if it's not raining, we go out, myself, Madame, and the kids, and then we just go to, depending on where we want to go, we go to a park, we go to an eatery where you have toys for children to play with, okay, and then we play with them. So that's basically how.
Being able to touch base, as a career executive, a husband, a father, a mentor to professionals. So that's amazing. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we will go deep into the topic of discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
listening to Africa Business Radio, where you get up-to-date insights on the Africa business landscape. Log on to www.africabusinessradio.com. Your favorite shows are available on podcasts. Download them on our website and mobile app. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.
Welcome back. I still have my guest here, Mr. Emmanuel Michael. So tell me, what exactly is procrastination? Why do people procrastinate? And what are the practical ways to overcoming procrastination?
Okay, so this is a what, why, and how question.
Yes.
Okay, so what is procrastination? For me, I think procrastination is when one delays the accomplishment of a particular task. Mm-hmm. Okay, you need to do something, but you are postponing when you will do it. You delay doing instead of doing it now. Mm-hmm. That's what procrastination is to me. Why do people procrastinate? There are several reasons why anyone wants to procrastinate, including myself. I recall sometimes, like, okay, let's even take this podcast that we are recording today. We had talked a long time ago to come up with a topic, and I keep saying, okay, there's still time. So when you look at when you need to get this thing done, and you calculate the time that you have, you can say, maybe let me give it a week to the time. When it gets a week to the time, I will do what I need to do. Then when you get to a week, you now say, I still have time, so I can still put it aside and get something else done. So, and because of doing that, keep pushing it aside, and then suddenly the day will just come upon you. And it's like, oh, it's today. So what do I need to do? I need to now start thinking. So, that's one, because you feel that you have time. Then the second thing that could make one to procrastinate is that maybe the task is boring. So if it's boring, you don't want to do it. You want something exciting. So that could also make you procrastinate. Then the other thing is poor organization. You're not able to organize yourself very well. You could also procrastinate. Let's say you have so many things you want to do, and you don't have that ability. You need the discipline. You don't have the discipline. Okay, to outline everything that you need to do. So sometimes what I actually do is try to look through my calendar, because sometimes people will send me a message, okay, we need you to do this, we need you to come and speak at this, or there's this task you need to get done. Okay, I will just note them down. So from time to time, what I try to do is to, take a day off, and then let me look through my jotter or my calendar. What have I listed? What have I promised and agreed to do? And start looking at them. By the time I do that, sometimes I go, wow, one is even already closed. So it means I need to begin to prioritize. So if you're not able to organize yourself, you don't have a document, either digital or manual, where you organize your activity, you tend to procrastinate. You think you have time.
That's true.
You think you have time, and then at the end of the day, you don't have that time.
And then when you don't even organize, you might forget completely.
Yes, completely, yes. That you are supposed to do something like that. So, then the other thing is fear of failure. You don't want to fail. Let's say, for instance, you're a perfectionist. I'm a recovery perfectionist, so I'm recovering from that.
That makes it two of us.
Yeah. So whenever I want to do something, I want to make sure that I have 100% of the information before I start. Okay? But within the last few years, I've learned that I don't have to have all the information. I need to just start. And then as I go along, I make amends. So if you're a perfectionist, you want to have all the information, because you want to do the job and do it well. But even up till now, there's something I still do. If I'm invited to an event, I like to be at the event earlier, before the show starts. If I discover that I'm late, I might be on the way, and I discover that I'm late, I will turn back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I still do that till today. So it's something I'm still trying to see how to overcome. Because I don't like appearing in an event late, coming in late. I feel something is not right. This is not me. Okay. So that's also the same thing with task. Okay. Then the other thing is poor decision making. Okay. If you are afraid to make a decision, I used to have a boss that when he wants to make a decision, when there's an issue, when there's a problem, okay, he likes to defer to others. He doesn't want to be the one to take that decision, you know. And this is something that he needs to decide on, but he wants to be some other person to take the decision, and then come and tell him that.
And then when he has to rely on other people,
and then when there's a problem,
now,
so that's the chance. So if one is not disciplined or have that ability to take that decision when they need to take it, then it could lead to procrastination. So that's why. So you asked
what are the practical ways to overcoming them?
Practical ways to overcome. So if we look at, I think the first thing to do is actually to recognize that you are procrastinating. So if you don't recognize that you are,
it's a struggle, it's a problem.
So you need to recognize that's the first thing. If you recognize that what you are doing is procrastinating, okay, then it will help you to begin to think of what then do I need to do to overcome. And how do you recognize that you are procrastinating? If you are waiting for the right mood, the right time, I need to be in the mood. You know, there's some people they will tell you, I need to be in the mood to start this project. That tells you there's a problem. So if you're always waiting to be in the mood, just know that that's procrastination. Then if you have a task, you have a long list of tasks that you want to do, then there's one maybe that is number one. So no, let me move this one down and do the other. So you are avoiding to actually carry on that task or get it ticked off immediately. That's the sign that you are procrastinating. Yeah. So how do you get out of it? One, you recognize that. Then the other thing you need to do, you need to begin to adopt some strategies that will help you, anti-procrastination strategies. That's what I'll call it.
I think that takes us to the next question.
Okay.
Right? So what does an effective time management strategy, now that you talked about strategy, what does it look like? Because that time management, a lot of time when people procrastinate is that they don't know how to manage or maximize their time. So what is an effective time management strategy? Okay.
So for me, I'm a believer that no one can manage their time. No one. What we can only do is to maximize the time.
Exactly.
Because the time is fixed. So if it's not fixed, you can say you can manage it, but the time is fixed. So what can you do within this available time that you have?
Yes.
So that is for me.
The 86,400 seconds that we have in a day.
86,400 seconds we have in a day. So
and when you, I'm cutting you short. And when you look at it, we have 7 to 8 hours to sleep, right? So when you remove that 7 to 8 hours, the remaining time exactly is what we have really, and it's about 13 hours in a day. So how do we maximize
that?
Exactly.
So because you have a lot of things competing for this particular time, and you need to make sure you give every aspect of your life some sort of attention. Some sort of attention. So what has worked for me, is one, being able to first of all identify how much time do I have for the day. There's something I learned while researching how to maximize my time. It's called time blocking. So I need to have like a schedule every day, and then within that schedule I need to have appointments with myself on what exactly I want to do. So I schedule personal time, I schedule business time. If I have a side hustle, I schedule side hustle. Family time is scheduled. Like I said, on Sundays we have time out with the family. It's actually blocked on the calendar, and my spouse is copied on that calendar. So every Sunday she tells, it's time when we need to go out.
She'll be your accountability partner.
So with that, you have that schedule. And because you copy in somebody in your family or anyone who you want to be your accountability partner, the person helps to remind you this is what you need to do at a particular time. You recall when we scheduled this meeting, even before you sent your calendar, I plugged it. Yeah, I plugged it
so
in.
Efficient.
So if I don't plug it in, then it means I might forget. Okay, because there's too many things going through my mind. I don't want. So, but if I plug it in, it goes off immediately. I know that, okay, I'll get a reminder a week to the time. Then I need to get what I need to get done to prepare for that particular. If I need 2 weeks to prepare, then I set a reminder 2 weeks so that I can prepare myself. So that's one. That's two, right?
Yes.
So set the calendar, have a schedule, block out times, have someone who is going to serve as your accountability partner. Then the other thing you need to do is that you also need to commit to doing that particular task.
Self-discipline.
So you need to commit to doing that task. So if you said, I want to do X, Y, Z at a particular time, you need to make attempt to do it. Okay? You might not be feeling very strong. You might not feel like it, but you need to just make attempts to make sure you do it. And then the other thing you can also do is that when you have a task to do, don't try to lump it, break it down into small chunks.
True.
Okay? When you break it down into small, especially a task that is boring, break it down.
Take it milestone by milestone.
So when you break it down piecemeal, when you get a small portion done, there's an excitement that you feel when you accomplish a task. Okay, so you get that small one done. You think, okay, this 1 of 10 done, 2 of 10 done, and then when you get to maybe 5 of 10, wow, let me get myself an ice cream.
True.
Yeah, so you reward yourself. Yeah.
Milestone.
So yeah. So then the other thing is, like I said, don't wait until you get all the information. Act as you go. Okay, don't wait until you get all the information. So just start. If I want to do something, start. Say, for instance, you want to write a book. You don't have to wait until you've done all the research. Just start. Okay.
Right.
Chapter 1. Okay, what are the titles of all the chapters? You put them down, and then you now come back and start filling the gap, filling it in gradually. Okay. Then there's the other thing again is distraction. There's a lot of distraction around us. Every now and then I'm tempted to pick my phone. Let me check. I posted something online. Let me check if anybody has commented so that I can respond and all that. So what I've tried to do in my own case is that, like, I post frequently on LinkedIn. And so what I've discovered with LinkedIn is that when you post on LinkedIn, the first 2 hours is the time that you actually need to engage, for your post to go to reach more people within your network. So what I try to do is that, as not suppose within the first 30 minutes, okay, I give it the first 30 minutes post, and then try to engage with whoever engages with that content within the first 30 minutes, and then I leave it. Come back later on to check on it. So you need to have time for doing things, so that you can take away the distractions, all those things that will come up. So if it's to check your email, have a scheduled time that you want to check your mail. Have a scheduled time that you want to do anything, So that will help to take away so somebody comes to you now, you are busy working on the project, and someone pops in and say that, do you have a minute? No, you don't have a minute. You then need to agree a time. So let's meet at XYZ time. Because when you leave what you are doing to attend to that particular person, you lose your trend of thought. When you come back, you need to start afresh again.
To say no.
Yes. So you need to learn to say no.
Awesome. I love all the strategies that you shared, really. I do, like saying no, scheduling, trying to block distractions. They are very key. Because when we, and even the social media part, because a lot of times social media is so addictive. Like when you pick up your phone, and before you know it, you've spent 3 hours on social media. It's a lot of
and what I've done
time
is,
draining.
This notification is a lot of distraction.
I've removed all the notification, all the social media notifications.
I only go there when I want to go there.
True. Yeah. I agree with you.
So each time you beep, problem. Like here now, what have I done? I've turned my phone off completely. True.
Those are so practical. Thank you very much. Let me ask this final question. Okay. How can leaders or line managers help their team members become more efficient? So now I'm asking you, how can you help your team members? Because this is a struggle that everyone is going through. And I'm very sure you might have had one member of your team who is very sluggish, who doesn't deliver on time. how can you help him or her to be more efficient in maximizing time and achieving more?
Okay, so leaders in organization, it's critical for them to become coaches. They need to coach their team members. So what I've done that have worked for me to get my team members to maximize their time is, in my office we have a tool that we use, an online tool, because we're working remotely now.
Okay.
We use Teams, okay, but it also has a functionality that has something that looks like a Kanban board. So it's a board where you put all the tasks. So what we try to do is, depending on what task I'm assigning to a team member, so we'll agree, okay, these are all the things we need to get done this week. Assign them, assign when they need to be delivered. Okay, assign the person who's going to do it, assign when they need to be delivered. So every morning, I leave you with the task, okay? So, but you have my permission. If in the course of carrying out these tasks you have a challenge, you need to feel free to come back to me to seek guidance.
Exactly.
But the other thing I do is that if I want you to do something you've never done before, I'll walk you through it, exactly how I want you to get it done. So I do one sample, you see it, ask you to do, you do. And
so it helps them to speed up. Yes.
So then I leave you to go ahead and get the whole thing done. But helping to schedule that task, and both of us agree, and then I ask you, when do you think you can deliver the job, okay? So that I can measure when do I need it, to see if it falls within the timeline that I actually need the job. So if you give me an earlier time, good enough.
But if you do that also. I remember when my line manager gives me any response, I'll ask her, when do you need it?
Yes.
You know?
So if you give me a time that is out of when I'm supposed to get this job delivered, then I need to work with you and guide you and say, okay, so how are you going to get this job done? You explain to me how you're going to get the job done. If I see that you are taking some steps that will make you take a longer time to get it accomplished, I try to guide to say, okay, do 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you've done one, you can come back to me, let me check to be sure that you're on the right track. Then I can let you complete it. So that's something I do. Guiding my team members helps them to be able to maximize their time and get the work delivered. And again, when I assign a task to any of my team members, I also set a reminder. So if you're supposed to deliver, say, by 5 p.m., I'll set the reminder at 3 p.m. so that if you are doing something else, as soon as the reminder pops up, I need to deliver this thing by 5. Then they go ahead and get it done.
So practical, so practical. Wow, interesting conversation, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you so much for blessing us with your practical insights. And I pray that when I call you again, because there are so many things we're going to discuss on the HR space and all of that. So I pray that when I call you again, that you will answer us.
I'll be more than honored to come back again.
All right. Thank you.
So
listeners, send your questions and comments through Africa Business Radio and Nkemo Fonabo on Instagram. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. You can stream and download on Africa Business Radio and any other streaming platform. Thank you.
Thank you.